Hello, everybody. Well, I'll probably wait a little bit, wait for people to start coming in here, but it is Tuesday. I will have someone joining me. Ed will be joining me shortly. Yep, there he is right here. Just in
Hey,
time.
Mikey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
Just getting started here. I know not the biggest baseball guy, but we'll be talking a little bit of ball. We'll fit some Bears into as well. Uh
Sure.
here on this episode of Chicago Sports Podcast. Again, one more primarily featuring baseball since we're kind of in full swing. I'm pretty sure if you are a baseball fan, that's probably what you're watching right now with both teams are on right now. Sox are up 2-1, top of the eighth with two outs. Got a guy on first, and then the Cubs down 5-3 in the top of the seventh with one out. So they'll be looking for a rally. Sox looking to hang on there in those respective games. So if you're just joining us, if you're new here for the first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like button down below. It helps us out a lot here at the Chicago Sports Podcast. And if you're hitting that subscribe button, might as well hit the notification bell as well. You won't miss a single show from everyone. Got a bunch of great co-hosts here on this channel. You wouldn't want to miss a show. Any one of us do right here every day at 8:30 we'll be coming at you with something Chicago. Again, tonight's baseball. Most of the time it's Bears, but I'm sure even when getting into the summer month, football can start to get a little bit slow. It's the dog days of the summer, as they say, and the Cubs are looking really good this year. So I think we'll probably start with them. Definitely the more exciting team in Chicago. I think by far the best team in Chicago right now, Ed. I mean, it's not too close, but I think it's easily the Cubs right now.
Well, I guess you'd have to give it to them right now. But
Yeah.
as soon as this football season starts, it might change. I hope
Oh
so.
yeah, it could. I know. I'm pretty sure we all do because I mean, Chicago. We split our fandoms, at least most of us, between two baseball teams, and we all come together in the fall and root for the Bears, which hasn't been too kind for us in a little while here. Basically, going on 7 years. I don't think the last time was probably since 2018. It was actually kind to us, but it's looking a
That's
little
correct.
better. It's looking better. It's looking like it should be. Hopefully a good year. I know tough division, tough schedule in general, but they should be looking to turn things around there at Hallis Hall, Soldier Field. See Ant Mass in the chat. He's saying bear down to you as well. So bear down Ant Mass. But I think I'll start with the Cubs here, and really the big story with the Cubs. 22-14 right now. They're first in the NL Central. They're ahead of Cincinnati, who's actually in second now. They're tied with the Brewers. I think actually they're both tied, but they have a pretty solid lead in that division, 22 wins to Cincinnati's 18, a four-game lead. Josh Rojas just hit an RBI single. So the Sox are now up 3-1 and uber important insurance run with that White Sox bullpen. I'm not sure I trust them with a 5-run lead, so it's always good to get an extra insurance run there late. But still trying to stick with the Cubs here. The big thing with them, offense, offense, offense. When you're looking at the Cubs in the MLB landscape, they're at the very worst, the third best offense. If you want to tell me on any given day, the Yankees or the Dodgers have a better offense, I wouldn't argue with you, but those are easily your top three offenses. Cubs, most runs scored. They're third in OPS, first in batting average, first in total bases, and third in home runs. And really, that's been sparked by their big offseason acquisition with Kyle Tucker. He's batting 287 on the year so far, 30 RBIs already. That's sixth in the MLB, nine home runs. That is ninth. He has 30 runs. That's third. And really, I mean, what a trade for the Cubs, Ed. I mean, this guy, he was a superstar in Houston already. He does have that 1 year left on his contract, though. Looking to extend him probably forever, hand him a blank check. He's earned it already. But Ed, I mean, I know you're not the biggest baseball guy, but it's kind of hard not to at least notice and see what Kyle Tucker's been able to bring to the North Side so far.
Well, they need to get something going tonight, right? They got to find
Mm-hmm.
some of that offense. That's kind of. I haven't particularly been watching the Cubs as much as I used to, but um, as a rule, I think they I think they like doing that, uh, getting down, having to come back and rallying at the end to win games. They've done that. That's the kind of sort of thing they've kind of done over several years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know you're not a baseball guy, but you do you lead more Cubs?
I I I would probably say I lean more to Cubs than Sox. Not the biggest baseball fan.
Mhm.
Period. I wish them both well. Is what I
Yeah.
do, and I watch either one of them if they get into the playoffs. But other than that, I don't really watch a whole lot of baseball.
Yeah, I gotcha. And I mean, it's probably the better team to be leaning toward 1000% with what the White Sox are doing over there on the south side. I mean, it's almost polar opposites right now. Cubs at the top of the entire MLB in standings, while the Sox are second to last. They're
Yeah,
lucky.
well,
Colorado
that's
looks
better than
like
last year.
yeah, that is true. I will say it's not that hard, but they are indeed doing better than last year right now. But yeah, I mean, looking at the Cubs, their offense, there's not too much to talk about. It's just really good. Kyle Tucker, again, you have to extend him, but the big breakout, Pete Crow-Armstrong. This was a guy last year that struggled, I thought, in my opinion. He ended up with a 237 batting average. Not terrible, not great, but in 372 at bats, just 47 RBIs, 10 home runs. I mean, yeah, this is one of the best prospects in baseball. His defense was already great, still is great. One of the best center field defenders in the entire league. He had 27 stolen bases last year. And I said he had 10 home runs last year and 372 at bats. He has 142 at bats this year, and he already has 9 home runs. It really feels like the breakout is here for Pete Crow-Armstrong this year. He had an incredibly strong April, but he's ending up turning into the five-tool all-around player that the Cubs thought he'd be when he was a prospect. It looked like maybe it was going to take a little bit of time for him to get the power in his offensive game. The defense came right away, but when you're looking at Pete Crow-Armstrong, the defense is there, the speed is there. Now the offense is starting to come around, batting 268 this season, said 237 last year. That could even still go up. I mean, he's got good plate discipline, doesn't strike out too much. So it'll be interesting to see if he can maybe get this offense started. I know he's 0 for 3 tonight, but can't expect everyone to do everything every night. Seiya Suzuki, again, 9 home runs as well, 31 RBIs, 263 batting average. He's been a pillar of consistency, and I think that's one of the more underrated players that the Cubs have on their entire team is Seiya Suzuki. I think you got to give Jad Hoyer a lot of credit, the GM of the Cubs, for being able to convince him to sign here in Chicago because he's just been good. He's been a good player. He hasn't been exactly outstanding in my opinion, but I think this is by far the best start to a season he's had. I mean, the past couple of years, 20 home runs, 21 home runs. He already has 9 home runs this year, and we're in May. So it looks like a lot of these Cubs, Ed, are starting to have some of the best starts to a season they've ever had in their career. And I ask you more just overall what you think, if maybe is there a potential that they're maybe peaking a little too early, that maybe they're due for a little bit of a slump, or do you think that a lot of these guys are truly breaking out and this is here to stay for a while?
I, I don't think they're peaking. I think they're going to have a good year all the way through. I believe.
Yeah, I think a little some of these numbers might end up coming down just a little bit. I mean, what they're doing right now is amazing, and I still expect them to be a top three offense in baseball for a while. Maybe they slip to five at some point. A lot of these numbers I think are maybe a little bit above expectation. I wouldn't be surprised they come back a little bit, but that's not to say they'll be bad at any point. They're going to be a good team. I think they're going to run away with this division for the first time in a while. I know last year a lot of Cubs fans thought it was going to be the year to win the division. Didn't end up going that way, but truly this year the NL Central is not very good outside of Chicago. A lot of mid teams. Again, the Reds 18-18, Brewers 18-18, the Cardinals 17-19, and the Pirates are even 5 games behind them. You have one good team, 3 mid teams. I think the Cubs will run away with this division. Should be the first time Chicago team has made the playoffs in the form. I think since the Sox did in 21. I don't count the Bulls with their play, and that doesn't count in my opinion. I think truly, I think this will be the first time the Cubs get into the playoffs. First Chicago team in the playoffs in about 4 to 5 years, and that's just exciting. I think for the entire city, Ed,
Sure.
with all these teams that have just not been good recently.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, so it's been a good start to the Cubs. But I mean, we could talk a little bit of Bears. I know not the biggest baseball guy yet, but we can entertain the Bears a little bit. I haven't been on with you. I don't know anything about your thoughts about what happened in the draft, what they've done this offseason. So
Well,
overall, what is your state? What overall? How I don't know exactly what I want to say. How confident are you in the Bears' entire roster right now, or where are you happy with? What are you disappointed with?
There's not a lot to be disappointed about. They're pretty stacked most everywhere. There's a lot to alike about their not only their draft but their undrafted free agents that they picked up. Some real potential in a good handful of those guys. I wasn't overly thrilled as the draft was going on about the picks, but once it all panned out and see, here's what happens almost every time. We do a bunch of mock drafts and we know who we think they might be, who we would be, not who they might be looking for, but who we would like them to be looking for. And by the way, uh I know you was happy at 39 because I know
Hell
that's
yeah,
your boy.
very
Uh,
happy.
and we got lucky there. We got lucky in a fashion. I mean, uh, I'm sure you know that we don't know nothing, but I truly believe, and I'm sure you'd agree with me that if that Ohio State running back Henderson wouldn't have got picked at 38, we probably wouldn't have got uh,
Mhm.
your boy. We'd have
No,
probably took.
I honestly think it was between those two. I think it was whoever New England wasn't taking, we were going to take.
Yeah. Um. So, but no, like I was started to say, I wasn't overly thrilled as it was going down. But then um afterwards and looking back and looking at these guys, because look, almost every one of these guys uh is someone I never even looked at before. None of the guys that was ever on any of the hundreds of mock drafts I did. So, then you go to looking up their highlights and seeing what they're all about and stuff. And man, we got some gems, it looks like. At least some good potential guys all the way through the draft. All the way through the draft. A lot of people are
Who's your
knocking that
favorite out of those?
linebacker. Oh, uh I like um doggone it. Is it Luther? Your guy.
Oh,
The-
yeah, Burden, Luther Burden.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's gonna be the best out of all of them. I got high hopes for the tight end, but that's uh I really think that Burden is gonna shine. Um he's going to play with that chip. He everybody thought he'd be a mid first round pick, and he thought he was going to be, and first round's all over, and he didn't even get picked, and second round starts going, and they were passing him again, passing him again. Finally, the Bears got him, but he's going to be playing with that chip, and I imagine you've seen that little video clip of him saying, that yeah, he wasn't real happy, but all those teams that passed him by, but I'll see him. He said,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean,
"Yeah,
watching Luther grow up basically here at Mizzou, he's always been the chip on my shoulder guy. I mean, there was a few Mizzou games that, stuff gets said on social media between the two teams, and he took it to heart. And honest, I think in those two games, he went over 100 yards. So he's also a guy that if he has the chip on his shoulder, it feels like he walks the walk, doesn't just say, I'm going to do something, kind of doesn't show up. He showed up both those games. So I think that's also a good thing to have in your back pocket is a guy that shows up kind of when he, I don't know, not I don't want to say when he wants to because that's not what I want to say. But when there's stakes high going into it and people expect him to perform, he ends up showing up, which is big.
right on." Yeah, and aside from him, like I say, they're all pretty intriguing picks. I'm really hoping that tackle ends up filling that left tackle spot and shining. That would be really nice. I know he played mostly on the right, just a little bit of left, but um, they say he's got all the traits and all the measurables. He should be able to, play at left tackle, and I don't. I mean, what do we know? But I don't think. I I don't think that Braxton is going to get a new contract. Because I mean, it's going to be. He has started from day one, so he's going to want like starting left tackle kind of money, and he's not really. I mean, he has started because he played for the Bears. He never has been what I consider to be a starting left tackle in the league. We started him because we sucked. Our whole line sucked. Which I'm more than tickled that they finally addressed. I'm telling you, I'm 62 years old, Mike, and I've been decades harping about how they need to fix the damn offensive line. I mean, that's been our. I can go back six quarterbacks and tell you that these quarterbacks we had, none of them were bums. Okay,
Hmm.
none of them. All the way back to Cutler. Everybody since they weren't bums. We ran them out of town like they were bums. They weren't. Give them an offensive line, and any one of them could have done the job. Um, but we finally addressed it. Okay, and I'm real happy with the money well spent in free agency. I like the guys we got. Not. Uh, I'm not overly convinced that at right guard that we're going to be healthy. Uh, but uh, fingers crossed. I like the guy. What's that guy's name, Mike?
Uh, which one? The right guard?
Yeah.
Tooney?
No, 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 no. He's left guard, right?
Oh, is he left? Jonah Jackson?
Yeah. See, he's been kind of injury prone the last couple of years, and
Hmm.
he ain't played a full
Yeah.
season probably. I think since was it 21, maybe 22, but I think it was 21. When he was in Detroit with Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of the
So
big thing that a lot of Bears fans are looking for is, he had his best year under Ben Johnson. Hopefully that's able to be repeated.
absolutely, absolutely, I'd like to
So, I
see it.
mean, with the roster and what kind of where it, I mean, I think maybe if there's one spot it lacks when you go up and down, I mean, you're never going to have a team of all pros. And I think a lot of people get caught up with you have to have an elite player everywhere. If you do, you're going to win the Super Bowl. Bears obviously aren't there yet, but maybe you look at edge. There's no one elite there, but they did invest into that position with free agency with Bingo. So they tried there in free agency, and I mean, running back feels like the weakest position group, but it's not awful in my opinion. I'm not entirely high on DeAndre Swift, but do you think that they should be looking at a veteran running back in the free agency market? A J.K. Dobbins and Nick Chubb. What are your thoughts on that?
I I don't. I think you're going to be all right. I even like this kid they picked up in the seventh round. I ain't saying he's going to tear up the world, but uh, for a seventh round pick, he's a stud. He's a little
Yeah,
guy, not the fastest, but you see him blowing people up, pass blocking. You see any?
yeah,
You saw his highlights, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
I mean to tell you, that little son of a gun knocks the shit out of some
yeah,
uh, edge rushers or defensive tackles coming in after his quarterback. I mean, he knocks them back. Uh, it's crazy how good he blocks. Um, and like I said, he's not fast, but man, if he finds a seam, he knows how to exploit it. I'm impressed with his highlights. I didn't know him from Adam, before we drafted him in the seventh round. But and of course, there was some guys because there was plenty of talk about backs and Genty and was it Robinson and Scattaboo, and yeah,
Yeah.
we looked at all them guys, and yeah, they're nice backs, right? But, did you look at him at all? Was he on your radar at all? That,
Manungai?
yeah,
Once you started getting toward the end, I thought maybe he started becoming an option. But like, if you told me before the draft, I mean, I don't know, and I could have told you they take like any running back, any one of those guys could have been a bear, honestly,
yeah,
with the
Johnson
position need
or
that they had
all the
there.
yeah. Yeah, but uh any of those guys just seem to be gone by the time we picked. They'd be
Hmm.
just ahead of us here and there. Um so if and how do we know that they were really, we were wanting them to pick a running back. And and the word was they were pretty high on Genty, right? But
Yeah.
and I think if he was there at 10, I think we probably would have picked him. Don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that would have probably been the quickest you see a team
Yeah,
turn their carded.
yeah. But I mean, other than getting one like um that was a no brainer. Who knows? They might not even have been really in the market for a running back. We could have been thinking they were all along, and they really weren't. And then they just uh, got what they needed to get, and in the seventh round, let's go ahead and get a running back. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know, but that's who they ended up with. And as far as a better answering your question, Swift, I'm not a big fan of Swift, but uh, when he gets lathered up, he could play. I mean, he's not a bad back, and I wouldn't put him way behind. I would put him behind Chubb, but I wouldn't put him way behind Chubb. And like, look, he's still under contract. Uh, and if nobody wants to trade for him, what do we dump him, eat the money, and then first and lastly, we don't really have the money to be looking for another running back in free agency unless we dump some people that we got. You know how tight we are right now, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We'd
very.
have to let some people we to do anything in this final phase of free agency, to do anything at all, uh to speak of, we'd have to get rid of somebody to make room to pick somebody up. And like, uh I don't see it. I don't see us doing much, if anything at all, um more than what we already got. I don't think we're gonna make a. And I've been wrong. I've been wrong about these Bears, like, more times than you could count. But I don't. I don't think we're doing anything else. I think we're going to go at what we got, see how it all pans out. I think there's going to be a couple surprises on guys that make the team. I'm 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 hoping actually that there's a couple good surprises on who makes the team. Um and and I'm hoping for a pretty good season, cuz we're in, as good a shape as they said we were for Caleb coming in as a first round quarterback. Uh, and we were in good shape in a lot of places, but just not where it counts for that first round quarterback. We didn't have an offensive line in for him. I don't care what anybody says about the stats, and they were kind of middle of the road, whatever. If you watch them football games, uh, them boys just wasn't cutting it.
No, they were terrible.
No. Um, and it's been the case over and over and over. Like I said, I've been shouting at the TV for decades. I've I've fired I've fired GMs, the same one, even sometimes hundreds of times.
Yeah,
uh, Screaming at the damn TV. I mean, and polls included, man. He come in, said he was going to start from the trenches and work his way out and build a team. And what he done just the opposite, didn't he?
Yep.
But at least he finally did address the offensive line.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I guess I was shouting for him to be fired after last year because of that offensive line and the you know three a guy comes in and says he's gonna build from the line out and he's gonna take the north and never give it back and all that and just a bunch of other shit and and 3 years in and this is the offensive line we got. I said he's a bum. Get rid of him. But um, but I think you know what I think saved his ass is that trade. That trade
Hmm.
for that for 2 years ago for the number one overall pick. And look, that's probably one of the best, most lopsided trades ever. Especially how it all panned out because, like, you know, even when we traded for Khalil Mack and all that we gave the Raiders for Khalil, what they did with it didn't really work out so well. The greatest. Um, the running backs are the only one that really worked out for him, and he wasn't like uh like a number one or anything. Uh, but then but then Khalil didn't really all work out all that great for us either, other than the first year. But like I say, we got our line pretty much. I'm hoping the rookie uh, comes up big and fills in that left tackle spot, and I hope everybody else stays healthy and solid. Because if that line stays healthy, man, if 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 that offense as a whole stays healthy, it's going to be mean, man. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat uh, if they stay healthy.
Yep.
That's the key.
Yeah, you got to stay healthy and hope the coaching is able to elevate the offense. I think that's the big thing as well. I think transition maybe a little bit off Bears talk. I think we'll give the White Sox their due diligence, then hop out of here. Don't want to take too much time getting up
Sure,
here that 30
sure.
minute mark. Want to thank everyone still again for coming out here on the Chicago Sports Podcast. If you're brand new, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Mentioned that a little bit earlier. Be sure to, if you weren't here, be sure to do that again. And hit the like button as well and keep commenting down below. We'll get some comments if we got some time here, but we'll talk a little bit about the White Sox here. Being the White Sox fan hasn't been too fun recently, but again, 10-25 this year. Again, one of the worst teams in baseball. That kind of goes without saying. They're somehow, luckily, not the worst due to the Colorado Rockies actually being
Yay.
on pace to break their win or loss record, not win record, definitely not win record, loss record from last year. They are 6-28 right now, and
Wow.
most definitely on pace to break that record the Sox set a year ago. So hopefully they don't have that record for too long because that would at least be good. And as I'm talking right now, Sox are in the bottom of the ninth, up one, and they've currently loaded the bases. So that is probably the least surprising thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And they're probably about to lose. But outside of the actual MLB team itself, they're getting closer to at least bad fun. They're still a little bit ways away, and that'll come throughout their farm system, which is developing well. You have the two best left-handed pitching prospects in baseball with Noah Schultz and Hagen Smith. Sorry, combine them there for a second. And then your next two are Kyle Teal and Brady Montgomery. They came over from Boston in the Garrett Crochet trade, and Kyle Teal is probably imminently getting called up to the majors. He's batting 257, 389 slug, 354 on base, 743 OPS in Triple A this year. He has 3 homers with 4 doubles, but his defense has been good as well. So him and Edgar Cuero, probably your catchers of the future. And Braden Montgomery also coming over in that Boston trade. He was the big piece that I really wanted in that entire trade from Boston. If they were going to trade with Boston, you needed to have. I really wanted Braden Montgomery in the trade, and he's proving me right why I wanted him so far. He started off in single A, it got promoted basically instantly to high A, where I mean, just in 25 at bats, he has a 360 batting average, 760 slug, 1200 OPS. He homered twice tonight. I mean, this is a guy that's probably going to fly up through their entire farm system. He's going to probably be in double A at absolute worst by the end of the year, probably even triple A. He probably debuts next year. So that's absolutely huge. He kind of reminds me a little bit of PCA in terms of he has really good defense right now. He could go play the field on an MLB team right now. His bat, though, needed to improve a lot. And so far in minors, it absolutely has. It's probably been the best asset of his game, which is really good to see. And I know we're getting near time, so I'll just kind of wrap it
Awesome.
up. There's again, this is a bad baseball team. They're going to lose a lot of games, easily 100 games. But if you are somehow paying attention to this team, a couple names to give you to watch this year as guys that actually will probably be a part of a core. Edgar Cuero, he came over from the Angels in the Lucas Giolito trade a couple of years ago. He's had really good plate discipline, puts the ball in play. He's almost batting 300 right now. He's come up and done really well. And Chase Mydroth is another one. He's currently their leadoff hitter, and it's because he literally doesn't swing at pitches outside the zone. If I saw on a broadcast a couple days ago, it was 16.1% of strikes outside the zone he swings at, and he doesn't qualify without the number of at bats due to him being called up later into the year. But if he did, it'd be first in the MLB. So he's got really good plate discipline. Edgar Cuero has been really good defensively. He's also been hitting the ball well. And then Luis Robert has, I think he still is the MLB stolen base leader. So he's starting to look a little bit more like his 2023 form. Yeah, he still is the stolen base leader. His batting average is below the Mendoza line. You want to see that come up a little bit, but overall, he's looking better too. So it's not going to be a fun year on the South Side in 2025. Probably still not in 2026. You're probably looking at 2 years away for the South Side to start looking like a competent baseball team. And hopefully that improves. But this is the White Sox. This isn't a team that is well ran. They don't have luck. So it'll probably be two, but wouldn't be surprised if it's three or more. But
Mikey, I like you. You're a good kid, man. But I worry about you because you know too much. And you know what happens when you know too much, and the next thing
yeah,
you know, you're swimming with the fishies. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? You know
hopefully
too
not,
much.
but we'll have to see. I mean, I probably know a little too much for my own good, especially for teams that aren't very good. It'd help if one of these teams could at least be better, and it's looking like the next team that'll be do that is hopefully the Bears, which I think we all really need a good football team here in
We need
Chicago.
one, don't we?
Because I mean, 2018 was really fun here, or I guess not here. I'm not in Chicago right now, but it was really fun in the city. You could definitely feel there was just an energy in Chicago. There just is when the Bears are good. City's been
Yeah.
needing it for a while.
Oh
New
man.
coach and everything. It just feels like they're going to improve. Again, sadly, really tough division, really tough schedule overall, even with it being a fourth place schedule. But you're just looking for improvement, even if it's not playoffs. You want to see the improvement with this whole team, and I think we'll get it, Ed.
I hope so. Yeah, you're right though. We surely need one, man. It's like uh, eh, we've seen this movie before, but doggone it, we got everything in the makings for a good one. I hope it is. Um, we'll see. You know, we got to just kind of wait and see and watch how it pans out. But I'm excited and hopeful for a good one. I think we got a good one coming. I hope
Yep,
so.
I do too, and I'm sure the rest of the chat does as well. Yeah, I think that'll close it out for us here tonight on the Tuesday show. For Mike, for myself, and Ed, appreciate everyone popping. I see Darius popping in here as well, commenting. Hope you're having a good night, man. And Cheryl as well with her score updates. Appreciate that. Ant Mass in here, Tracks, Montana Shy. Appreciate all you guys commenting, and anyone else who's watching anonymously. Appreciate you coming out as well. And yeah, bear down, go Cubs, go White Sox, go Chicago, and we'll see you here tomorrow night. Or me and Ed won't, but